right, y'all, what's happening? It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I am here with my review for the first 3 episodes of Ironheart on Disney+. Now, if you haven't seen this yet, come on back, because there will be spoilers. As always, thank you to each and every single person who rocks with your boy, who shows a lot of love, who is here. I am grateful. I always say this, without you, there is no me, all of that, right? Let's get right into it. I wanted to do this. I've been trying to record this for the past 2 hours. My computer been acting stupid. I didn't get a chance to go to the premiere. A lot of things have shifted in a lot of studios' marketing, where they're only doing influencers and certain things like that. And they're not doing people who cover this stuff, who are fans of it. And I get why, because the influencers are influencing. So if an influencer that you follow, you might not give a shit about what they normally watch. But if they say, hey, go watch Ironheart, you're supposed to be more than likely to go do so. I get it. I would have loved to go on to it. However, I waited, and I saw the first 3 episodes myself. Now, I have some friends who have seen the entire 6-episode series, which, by the way, sucks that it's only 6 episodes. That's another point I'll get to later. Here's my overall first thoughts on the first 3 episodes. I dug it. I like that we see who Riri is. When I say who she is, yes, we were introduced to her in Wakanda Forever. But we really get to see who she is, what makes her who she is. You know, she's one of the greatest engineers. She's a genius, but she's an engineer. She started working on cars. She tells you all these different things. Her home life, and I'm gonna be honest, let's pause this here. To be a kid from the south side of Chicago, born and raised. You know me, you know I will rep my city to the day I die. I have lived in Los Angeles now 10 years, but Chicago was always my heart. And to see the south side be the south side of Chicago and get the love it does and play a character in the show, it brought a tear to my eye, I'm not gonna lie. To see some of the homies I know who I grew up with, hung out with in the show, man, whether it be in little small bit player roles, walk about on the street, things like that, it was so great. To see my homie LaRoyce Hawkins play her stepdad. A lot of people know LaRoyce from Chicago PD. To see my girl Sonia Denise. Sonia, I know Sonia for years. Sonia's an amazing stand-up comedian. We met back in Chicago. She plays Clown, the pyrotech. So it's so many people in the show that to see Cree Summer was also like, word. But I loved all that. It slowed down the story of who Riri is. Because think about it. We met her in Wakanda Forever. And for the most part, it is fast-paced. Because once it gets involved with her, and it moves so quickly, it's all about her trying to be prevented from being murdered by Namor and Atalocan. And then the U.S. government looking for, and all these different things. Shuri trying to find out who she is and accepting who she should be, taking up the mantle of the Black Panther, etc., etc. All these different things happen. And so then it moves forward, and then we get Riri, boom, here in MIT and then out of MIT. Now, here's where I'm going to say this. Support the shit out this show. Support the shit out this show. Because I'm going to support the shit out of this show. It deserves to be supported more. I do, however, have a small issue with the story. Here's where my issue with the story comes in. All right? Let me do it this way. The cast is great. Also, to see the homie Eric Andre in there was amazing. I will say this. Lyric Ross, who plays Natalie, her AI, that pairing of her and Dominique is phenomenal because Natalie is exactly what a black AI would be if it was created from the brain mapping of its computer who uses the memories. It would have that exact same relationship. It would have that same, we go back and forth like best friends and like sisters, but I'm going to still protect you with everything I can. It is perfect. There are scenes in there that made me laugh my ass off. Natalie having the suit dance, amazing. Here's my issue, okay? I feel like we're in this position where Marvel Studios does this, where we get introduced to a character in a bigger project, and then in a smaller project, we get their entire backstory. And it's like, things have been set up. We get their backstory, which is also their going forward story, but a lot of times it doesn't mesh well. Here's what I mean. Okay? Again, never take away me loving this. Riri's whole instance after getting kicked out of MIT is she doesn't have the resources to build an iron suit like she wants to. She knows she wants to do something potentially better than Stark, better than Pym, but she doesn't have the resources nor the money. Okay? That's understandable. But here's the problem. Wakanda Forever exists. And at the end of that, when Shuri and Riri go their separate ways, there is no, this is just a one-off. There is no, I can't do nothing else for you. It's a, you need me, let me know. Yeah, I can't let you take the suit with you because the suit is made out of pure vibranium. But Shuri could assist her. Wakanda is the wealthiest nation on the planet. Shuri could assist her at the drop of a dime. So there would technically be no need for her to go through this little criminal act with the Hood and his gang. It's a phone call away. Also, Shuri would definitely help her because her mom died protecting her, being Riri, because she knew Riri was special. That part didn't sit well with me. I understand you needed a reason to have the story move forward, etc., etc. But also, the Hood, Anthony Ramos is a cool homie. It's the homie. Cool, happy to see him, happy for him. I don't think you need the Hood and Zeke Stain at the same time. Especially with only 6 episodes. Once it was revealed that Alden Ehrenreich's character is not Joe McGillicuddy, he's Zeke Stain, Obadiah Stain's son, aka the Ironmonger. He makes himself a biological Ironmonger. If you know the comics, you don't need both of them. You just need the Ironmonger of it. The Hood part, I understand why, because we're introducing magic, we're getting Mephisto, legitimately, and all these things. We're going to mix technology and magic. Who else mixes technology and magic? Say it with me, boys and girls. That's right, Victor Von Doom. So we're getting that to set that up going forward. That part I understand. But him becoming this big bad while you have another big bad, I don't know if that would have worked. Now, I'm going to go to a conversation I had with my good friend, my man who's like my brother, Lamont McGee. This should have been Iron Wars. Now, shout out to my homeboy Yasser Lesser, who was doing the Iron Wars series. Well, now movie. This should have been Iron Wars. Because everybody knows in this show, from what they're saying, Riri's trying to build an iron suit. Riri's already built an iron suit successfully multiple times. But Riri's whole thing is to build an iron suit. If you go back to Iron Man 2, remember during the congressional hearings, the biggest thing was Hammer and all these other people trying to have the race to build Iron Man tech, and everybody was so far away from doing it, and no one would ever come close. But the only one who's ever come close now is Riri Williams. So now you can have a situation where potentially someone steals one of Riri's suits and then goes from there and create this other havoc. Now Riri's on the hook for that because it's her tech, technically, that they've been stealing using. She's got to prove it's not her. So then you can have maybe somebody from Hammer Tech, if Justin Hammer is either still in jail or not, depending on what you got with Sam Rockwell going on. You have somebody from Hammer Tech steal one of her suits, recommission it. She has to build her brand new suit, her sleeker Ironheart suit, which we're more than likely going to get by the end of this show. And then you have that situation. So now you're doing the whole, and the person she could be, and maybe it doesn't even have to be that. It could be an Obadiah Stane, all these different things. There's so much at stake that they could have done. But, again, not my story to tell. I always say this. It's not my story to tell. I believe that I give the writers, producers, and directors the free reins to tell their story the way they choose to. This is how I would have told it. Because I feel like you have the Hood and you can save him as a lower level threat, which you're kind of doing with this show. But this Obadiah Stane thing and Zeke Stain opens the door for when you said Armor Wars is coming and all these other things. And again, technology and science. We know Doom is coming. We know all of these things are playing a factor. Everything can meld itself together. those are my thoughts on that. But again, I love the relationship she has with her mom. I love the fact she has a lot of PTSD that she has to address. Watching her stepfather and her I think her stepsister get killed, who's her best friend, that would invoke a lot of PTSD. Panic attacks, if you will. And even how she says Natalie was the only one to bring her back. I like how Natalie has, up until the memories of Riri when she died. And so how, like, when the tragic happens, she doesn't know what to do because she glitches out. Also, it needs to be addressed just with a line of dialogue. Hey, why did you glitch out? Why did you act like this? I'm not just the AI that you created. I'm the AI you created from your direct memories of me. You mapped your brain out. So what you mapped your brain out, whatever way you saw me when I was alive is how you see me as an AI. That's just a small thing for me. I think as I get more into my own storytelling world, writing, et cetera, you have to think about those things moving forward. And I think also when it comes to Marvel Studios, I feel like one hand should talk to the other more. What do I mean by that? I mean that, hey, Wakanda Forever is a thing that happened. Ironheart's been filmed. So the same producers, Ryan Coogler, he was the director of Wakanda Forever. He's the EP of this. Talk to also Chinika Hodge and talk to you right, hey, these little bitty things should be referenced to help move the story a little bit smoother. Again, that's Shuri connection, and I know some people think, well, if you introduce Shuri, if you bring up Shuri, that means you have to see her throughout the series, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. All she has to do is make a phone call. I need a favor. I helped save the world and your country. I need a favor. I just need a small, because that favor is a small, I just need a lab, a resource, a Riri Williams Foundation, where the grants come in now and the money comes in and I can do what I need to do. And I don't have to go to this person who is selling things on the black market. And granted, she might be introduced to him because he may have been the person that he says, yes, him and his father weren't close. But you can have somewhere he maybe runs a company, et cetera, et cetera. And then somehow those two companies are mesh, or those two foundations bump heads, all that. But those are just small little quips. I'm not going to say the show is perfect because I don't think it's perfect. I think it's phenomenal. But I don't think it's perfect. Now, I know so many people are going to try to find every little quirk and negative thing they can with this. I'm not shy to that. I'm not oblivious to the fact that there are some people who wanted this to fail from jump. Well, the only person I want to see is Tony Stark. Shut the fuck up. It's why Robert Downey Jr. has been all over social media praising Dominique Thorne. Because he knows how stupid, and this may not be you all directly fuck with me watching this, but those people sound. I had a glitch, but I want to know what you think in the comments below. Keep it civil. We're talking about comic book movies and TV shows. If we're talking about your ass, I don't care if it's how long you write or how short you wrote. I'll delete the shit out of it, all right? Follow me on all the social media sites. You already know what I tell y'all. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, etc., Mr. J. Washington. Join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J. Washington. My co-host to the Mad Titan Podcast, BC's got his BC's bullshit up. I'm going to put some wrestling takes up because I want to talk a few things wrestling and some other nerdly news as well because we got to talk that He-Man shit that we talked on the Mad Titan Podcast and a whole lot more. Holla at y'all later. Till then, take care. I'm out. Bye.